Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer Ngumalo. If you like the content, please make sure that you hit that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, as it does help for YouTube to push my videos for more people to see. So on today's video, we're going to be looking at my July money chat. We're going to be reviewing July, how I feel about July, how my finances have been looking in July, and also giving you guys an update regarding my credit card, because in my July research I did speak about this, and I promised that I was going to come back with some feedback in terms of what is happening with my credit card. And so if you want to know what has been happening in July in terms of my finances, please stick around. Okay fam, let us get into it. Now, if you are new in this channel, you might not know that every month I do my monthly research. Now in my monthly research, that's when I actually review the previous month, just roughly looking at my goals and my finances, especially my budget. And then what I do is then I plan for that month that we are going to be starting. And so in July, I did just that. I planned for it. I made some goals. I did my budget. So this video is not so much so about the research. It's actually about reviewing the month of July, especially with my finances, because I find that it does help me to kind of get a full view of what has been happening in the month, and what are the things that I can change or take into consideration when I do my monthly research for the upcoming month. So I think the first thing that we're just gonna dive into is my credit card, because this is something that was bothering me, and I know that many of you guys were suggesting solutions for this, especially because my issue was I wasn't sure how much I was owing, and if I wasn't owing, how much was I over with in terms of the money that I've put in. And I was also struggling to decrease the limit myself, and I know that you guys some of you suggested how I can do it on the app, because some of you are using FNB. However, that wasn't working. The steps that I had to take in order to try and make sure that I decrease this credit card, guys, there was just too much. There was a point whereby I was like, what the hell is going on here? I wasn't sure of what was going on. So here's the thing. When it comes to my credit card, that's the last credit card that I had. So before, I had two credit cards, one with Capitec and one with FNB. Now I had paid out the one with Capitec this year, and I was left with the one with FNB, and it was roughly 15,000. And so what I did was this month, last month, I actually paid into the credit card the money that I thought that I was owing, calculating based on the numbers that were showing on the app. And so I put in money in there. And then I was like, okay, I'm sure I'm not owing. My goal was, when it comes to this credit card, is that firstly, I didn't want to close it just yet. However, I wanted to decrease the limit. However, when I would try to do that on my app many times, you guys, I remember there was a time whereby I even called through and they tried to tell me to do the same thing, which is do it on my app. And I was like, I am not winning. It's not possible. So here's how my credit card was structured. My credit card was split in two, which is budget and straight. So when I bought my iPad, I bought it on budget instead of straight. And whenever I was paying into my credit card, most of the money was going towards the straight. And then every month, the deduction will go towards the budget. So even though I had just paid off the credit card, it was not registering in on budget, because remember, budget is something that you can pay over 12 months, 24 months. Now, when I was buying the iPad, the payment period was 24 months for the credit card. I was not owing Apple, but I was owing FNB. And so every month when they were deducting that 400 rands, it was going towards the budget negative balance. And so I paid into my credit card, yes. However, that amount, the budget amount, was still on a negative, which meant that it still looked like I was owing, but I was actually not owing. So what I did was I went to the bank, because I thought that they can help me. Then when I got there, I was like, sir, firstly, I want to know how much am I owing on this credit card, and then I want to decrease the limit. This guy was like, we cannot help you at the branch. We cannot decrease your limit from the branch. You have to actually call you have to call FNB under credit and speak to people that deal with credit cards. However, I can check the balance for you. So he goes in the system, he's checking. So when he's checking, he comes back and says, okay, according to this, you are owing 11,000. I'm like, Can you please explain to me, say, how is it that I'm owing 11,000 when I just put in 14,800 and something a few days ago? So he's like, let me just check again. He checks. He's like, okay, it's not 11,000, but it's not clear how much you're owing. Guys, so it's not just me who's confused about this balance. You see that, like, the issue here is not just me who's confused about the balance, guys. It's not just me. And I wish I had my budget book, my journal, because in my journal, if there's a time whereby I called through. So after that, I came back home. The following day, I called through to FNB. I called through to FNB, and then I speak to this gentleman, and so I ask him, sir, there are two things that I would like for you to help me with. First thing, I want to understand, how much am I owing in this credit card? A clear amount of how much am I owing? Am I owing or am I not? If I'm owing, how much am I owing? If it's over, how much is it over with? And then secondly, I want to decrease the limit. So he said, okay, fine, credit limit decreasing, I'm not going to be able to do that with you. You're going to have to go through another department. However, I can check the balance for you. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm still pissed that now I have to go through the process of actually calling again to the people that deal with these credit limits. Anyway, he says that, okay, according to the numbers that I'm seeing here, you are owing around, guys, let me go take my book, because I wrote it down when I was calling through trying to deal with this. So this is where I wrote everything here. So he says, according to the numbers that I see here, you are owing 3,689 rand, 689 rands and 33 cents. That is how much I'm owing. So I'm like, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then I ask him, can I still decrease the limit even though there's this 3,000 that I'm owing? He's like, okay, no, you can do it. So me, I look at the money that I have, I go on my savings. I'm like, you know what? I really, really want to pay this off. So I go on my savings. I'm thinking, you know what? Let me just take some money and pay into this. So I go on my savings. I take this 3,000. I actually took 3,700 and paid into the credit card, guys. The following morning, luckily, first thing first on the chat, I was on the queue. Literally, I think the people that they couldn't deal with the previous day, they actually put them on the following day. And so the first thing in the morning around 7, they actually started talking to me and trying to figure out how they can assist me. And so I talked to this person and I said to this person, okay, hi, I would like to decrease the limit, because I'm thinking, okay, now I know how much I'm owing. I've sorted that out. I've paid through the credit card. So I'm like, okay, I would like to decrease my limit to 5,000, from 15,000 to 5,000. Then she's like, okay, first thing first, we need to take money from the straight and pay into the budget so that there isn't a negative balance under budget. Then once we've sorted that out, then you'll be able to decrease the limit. So you see, this is why I couldn't decrease the limit myself. It has to be done by them. And so they send me to someone to actually do that for me. That person does that. They move money from that side, from the straight to the budget, to counteract that negative balance. And then after they were done with that, I then asked them that they decrease the limit for me. And so, they said, okay, now you can go ahead and decrease the limit on your side. I go into my banking app, and then I was able to now decrease the limit very easy. So I took it down to 5,000. After taking it down to 5,000, I have around, it was 11,000 something. So that's how much was there after I had decreased it to 5,000. I've never been so confused, guys, in my life. I called through again. I speak to someone at credit cards and I said, hey, can you please explain this to me, sir? And clearly, I know I'm going to sound stupid right now, but I want to understand. Please just break it down for me so that I can understand, so that in the future, I will be very clear about what is happening with this app, because I'm really struggling to understand these figures or this balance thing. Yes, guys, I may sound very stupid right now, but you know what? For me, I'd rather be stupid and so that I can understand than to act like I'm smart and then not know anything. So he actually takes his time, shame, and he explains it to me. He's like, okay, ma'am. So here's the deal. On your balance, that's your money. on your available, on this credit card, on the available, that's the money that is the limit for your credit card. So it's like, okay, so if your limit is 5,000, so from this 11,000 something minus 5,000, whatever that is left, that's your money. Like, music to my ears. I'm sorry, guys. It was just music to my ears. I was taken back. I was like, yesterday I just spoke to someone and he said that I owed 3,600 and something, and I paid that money in. Currently, I was not owing anything even in the first place, guys. This whole time I was not owing anything. So whatever that I had in there, I had just doubled it. So from the 11,000 minusing 5,000, I was left with 6,000 something. That's the money, my money that was in the credit card, that I wasn't aware that it was my money. So if I had not acted stupid, if I had not actually said, you know what, I don't understand this, made a call so that I can understand, I would have left that money thinking it's their money and not my money. So all along, I was on a positive balance on my credit card. After I had made that big payment into my credit card, I was on a positive balance. And even the guy from F&B who was telling me about the balance clearly didn't understand it. From the branch to the one that I spoke to and told me that I was owing 3,600. I was not the only one who was stupid, guys. We all were clearly not understanding what these numbers were saying. After I figured out that I had so much money, I was so pissed. So the first thing that I did was, I had so much money on my credit card, and remember, I had taken money from my savings, the 3,700, to pay into the money that I was told that I was owing. So what I did was, I actually took out the 3,600 and some, actually took out 3,500, and I transferred it back into my savings, and then I was left with 3,000 something. So after that, I actually took it down further to 2,000 now. So currently my credit card limit is 2,000. I don't want it above that. It's fine with it being 2,000, and I think I want to keep it. I want to keep my credit card for now, because F&B has proven to me that when it comes to trying to cancel things like that, even if you're trying to apply for anything with F&B, there's just a lot of processes that are involved. And so even though I want to eventually cancel the credit card and close it, I'm fine with it being 2,000, because 2,000 is something that I know very well that I can manage. If it happens that I end up tapping into it, I can manage. Like, let's say for instance, in the month I end up using 300 of that, easily manage to deal with that. Even if it's 2,000 that I end up using on the entire credit card, I can easily manage to pay that off in just 1 month. And so I'm not going to keep carrying a negative balance now, because firstly of my credit limit, and also now I have my money in there. So that's the issue with my credit card. I hope it does explain everything. If it doesn't, I don't know, but I think I've kind of went into detail of what happened with my credit card, what was going on, the confusion. But more than anything, what I can tell you right now is that my credit limit is 2,000. From 15,000 is 2,000. I have my own money in there, even though I've used most of it, if I'm being honest, because there's something that we then did with my partner. So it has went down, my money has went down, but I haven't even tapped into the 2,000 of the credit card. So currently it's on a positive balance, and I aim to maintain it that way, to be positive, because I really don't want to I don't want to tap into my credit card. I want to tap into my money. And so eventually I will close it, but for now, it's fine. It serves its purpose. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about because we just spoke about my credit card, something that is still related to debt. How much debt do I have now? Not even how much, because I don't want to get into that. Not how much, but what other debts do I have? So currently, when I'm going to be doing my budget, which is going to be for August, when I do my monthly reset and my budget for August, I'm happy to say that I won't be actually I won't be servicing a credit card debt. That for me feels very nice. When it comes to other debts that I have to budget for, I have nothing now. After that, the only things that I have is my home loan and NSFAS, and those are things that take directly from my payslip. Now, if you don't know, if you want to understand my money situation and all the stuff, you can go and look at my payday routine, and it does go into detail in terms of how I manage my money, how money comes in, what are the things that take. But my home loan and my NSFAS, they take directly from Peso. So by the time the money comes to me, they've taken. And now I have no intentions of paying off NSFAS. Don't come for me. I have no intentions of paying off NSFAS, and I'm not even going to front about it. But the most important thing is that I am making the minimum payments, and I'm helping someone to go to school right now. So that's better than not paying at all when you know that you're owing. So I have no intentions of paying off NSFAS. I owe around 50-something thousand in NSFAS, and the reason why I'm actually not bothered about rushing into it is because NSFAS doesn't affect your credit score. It doesn't affect anything regarding your credit. You are still fine. You can go about your business. It's not going to affect your credit in any way. They're not going to blacklist you in any way. And so I'm cool with that, especially because I am making the payments. It's not like I'm running away from my debt. And so I'm in no rush to pay off NSFAS, unless if money were to follow from the sky and say, yabo, and then I will take that money and pay off that 50,000. Otherwise, I'm sorry, guys. How? Take my money. Translation to English: take my money, my hard-earned money, and pay into NSFAS. I'm sorry. Like, let's say for instance, I get a bonus. I take my bonus, I pay into NSFAS. How, guys? Yo, shame. Never. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. I am sorry, but I'm not doing that. Not in this lifetime, baby. No. And so I'm cool with owing whatever that I'm owing there and paying the minimum that I'm paying. I'm cool with that. So the other one that I have is my home loan. Now with my home loan, I'm not rushing it, but what I do is when they send me a statement, whenever, let's say, the repo rate increase and then so the interest rates have to increase, they will send us if there are any adjustments, especially if your installment is going to go up. So what I've always done since I got my home loan is, let's say for instance, installment is 5,000. I don't just pay 5,000. I always add around 400, 500 or 600 on top. So currently with my installment, it is over by 500. So even if there are these adjustments that are happening when it comes to repo rates and what interest rates going up, I'm cool because I'm just there. So I don't really always have to adjust my payments every time the interest rates go up. And so what is nice about that is that when the interest rates eventually go down, I actually benefit because it attacks my debt even more. As I'm paying this extra, it might cut off 5 years of my bond. That is very much possible. And so I would rather do it that way than to say I'm going to now take 3,000 of my money and add into my bond. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not gonna do that. So that is my plan when it comes to that. That's the gist when it comes to my debts. As I said, credit card, we are sorted. Right now, we don't have all these immediate debts where I have to continuously service them. Yes, I have NSFAS and my bond, but those are two things that I'm in no rush to pay off. And NSFAS, I'm not even bothered by at all. Eventually, they will pass a policy whereby we are free of this debt. I'm waiting for that good day. Honestly waiting for that good day. Anyway, so another thing that we did, remember I said that from the money that I had, the additional money that I had in my credit card, which was mine, what we did was we decided to buy a bed for Nomcebo. Now, this is something that I had talked about in my July reset, and I said I wanted to buy a bed for my daughter because she is getting older and I need my space. When my partner was here, we decided to just jump the gun and buy the bed, and so the bed was around 4,000. So we split it between us, divided it equally, you know, and then we bought a bed cash, and then we bought some bedding for her, you know, just to screw things up. After that, I had to spend money from my credit card, but the nice thing is that I was spending my money. I wasn't incurring debt. So we were able to buy a bed, we were able to buy bedding and, you know, clothes for her and all the stuff, and I'm still even on the positive, still with some of my money in the credit card. And so that's the deal with the credit cards, that's the deal with my debt. How am I feeling around about my finances this month? I feel pretty good. It went very well. Yes, it was frustrating. Yes, I thought that I was owing money and all the stuff, but it turns out I was rich, and so for that I'm happy. And so month of July, I must say that it looked good for my finances, and I think that August is going to look even better. With that being said, you guys, I'll see you in the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.